Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum. Straight talk about you and your money. Now from the BizTalk studios, here is Gary Kaltbaum.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It's Friday, July 26, 2024. Hope you're having a good day. Really do. It's the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know, this is serious talk about everything that affects you, whether it's your job, your industry, the markets, the economy, and everything else that goes along with it. The Morlocks in D.C., and everything else that goes along with it. We will cover it with no agenda, no bias, no ulterior motive. And if you do not get this show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our Twitter feed, which is now X. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, just put our name in and follow. And if you'd like to email us, just be nice. Ladies and gentlemen, if I told you this week, the Dow is up 0.76%, less than 1% this week. The S&P 500 was down almost 1% this week. The NASDAQ was down 2.08% this week. The NASDAQ 100 was down 2.56% this week. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index, 3.11% this week. You would think, but it's one of those weeks, again, where starting July 11th, a major shift in favoritism in the market. And today was another one of those days. How long it lasts or how far it goes, I do not know. Yesterday was a very rough finish on the day. They just gapped them up today. Didn't see any news. Interest rates were down again, whoop-de-doo. Inflation number came out, no biggie. The Dow had to go up 654 points today to be up on the week. No kidding. Less than 1%. And still, about 700 points below the highs of about 6 days ago. The S&P, to be up 1% this week, had to go up 59 points today. And is still nicely below the high of 56.69, it's 54.53. The NASDAQ, even worse. The NASDAQ had to go up 176 points today to be down 2% on the week. By the way, on the S&P, to get down 0.92%, my bad. The NASDAQ up 176 today to be down 2% on the week. The NASDAQ 100 had to be up 193 today to be down 2.56% on the week. The transports had to be up 260 points today for it to be up 1% on the week. The mid-cap 400 to be up 2% this week had to go up about 1.7% today. The Russell 2000 was up 3.4% this week, even though the NASDAQ was up 176 and the NASDAQ 100 was up 193. We think, notwithstanding earnings reports, because that can change the playing field for any stock. Notwithstanding earnings reports, you underweight the tech. They could hardly bounce Nvidia today. They can hardly bounce Apple today. They had Netflix down today. They had Google down today. They had Tesla down today. So just letting you know. The money flows are much better elsewhere. Housing and housing related. Financials and financials related. Not all, but a bunch of economically sensitive names. But you got to be careful. United Rentals, I think, was up 28 today, finished down 2. You have better money flows into, United Health in the Dow. 3M in the Dow, which was up today almost $24 on zero sales growth. Hey, we don't make this up. We're just letting you know. It's still going on, even today. And I must say they were teasing a little bit, selling off the NASDAQ today. They held it up by the end of the day. They teased really selling off the semiconductors. They held it up by the end of the day. The SOX today was up 97. But at one point today, it was up about 140. But another point today, they only had up 50. They jammed it a little bit into the close. But we just want to repeat, before July 11th, it was all tech, big tech, semiconductors, miscellaneous software, artificial intelligence types. They're now out of favor. Yes, they bounced today. They're now out of favor. Before July 11th, we were on this show every day saying small and mid caps are comatose. Before July 11th, we were telling you economically sensitive stocks were comatose. Before July 11th, we were telling you about all our stuff on our stuff screens were comatose. On July 11th, everything changed. How long it lasts, how far it goes, I have absolutely no idea. I think what happened on July 11th, this is just a guess, that was the day an inflation number came out, and I believe the market that day got the clue or the thought that the Fed is indeed going to play catch-up, and they're going to lower their rates, which are, in my eyes, are less important than actual rates, and in combination of the 10-year yield going from 5% down to 4.2%, away it goes. And names like 3M on zero sales growth, up $23.77 today. 3M. 3M. Up 23% today. A big wow. On, again, 0% sales growth. Equivalent of, let's say, 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, 150 Dow points. And in the Dow also, United Health. They recently reported earnings, stock's gone straight up. Another 70 Dow points for that. And then you had housing related, Home Depot a little bit better. That was 40 Dow points today, even though it still looks like crap. Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, the big banks, acting pretty decent here. The regional banks, another relative high at the close today. That started up July 11th. Mind you, the KRE, the regional bank ETF, is at 59. The high of January 14th, 22, that week was 79. Keep in mind, and this is important, the regional bank ETF since 07 is up 16%. 17 years, 16%. But right now, getting a little juice, heading back towards wherever, and that's where the money flows are going. Again, tech better today. I'm quite unimpressed. There's some good reaction to earnings there. SAP, German software company. NOW, something called ServiceNow at a big move yesterday, but the software stocks had better do better. Yeah, had better do better. But as I go down the line, unimpressed. My money going elsewhere. Simple as that. We'll be patient on the tech front until it turns. That was today's market. That was the market on the week. I had thought after today, as I was looking, boy, what a big week. Nope. 3 big indices down, 1 up. Small indices up, mid up. Up next, my family, DC, much more. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
Hi, I'm Gary Kaltbaum, host of the nationally syndicated radio show Investor's Edge. We're not just handsome radio people. We manage investors' money for a living, specializing in fee-based discretionary money management. No big commissions, just a fee on the assets that's managed. We also provide a full range of personalized services, including retirement planning, fixed income, and educational needs, all to assist you in achieving your financial goals. Understanding not all individuals have the same needs, we'll carefully evaluate your personal goals to determine a proper investment strategy. If your current approach to investing is not getting you to where you would like to be, call us to make an appointment for a complimentary portfolio review. The number to call is 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. Investment advisory services offered through Kaltbaum Capital Management.
It's time to switch on the integrator units and get the brain cells working.
You're listening to
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Investor's Edge
The last bastion of quality programming.
with Gary Kaltbaum.
It doesn't get better than this.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm only going to spend 30 seconds on this. And again, we take no joy. The media is now lying out their arse, covering up their arse on saying for 3 years that Kamala Harris was the border czar. They even used those words. But even more than that, they talked about how she was the point person on the board and the like. And now they're trying to tell you you're an idiot, you're a moron, you're an imbecile. What they said you did not hear. And if you heard it, they were incorrect. It's amazing to watch. Think about that. You're looking outside and it's raining out and they're trying to tell you it's sunny. And since they never hold to account, nothing ever happens to them. They just keep repeating the lies. They are a determined bunch to have Kamala Harris as the next president, not Donald Trump. And it's amazing. Axios, who I've complained about a couple of times here, actually went out of their way to say we were incorrect when we reported many times that she was the border czar. I would say it to their face. To the CEO of Axios and every one of the writers, you're a bunch of ass clowns. And you should not be in this business of reporting. You should just be part of the Democratic National Committee. I would say it to their face. Remember, anytime I take on somebody here, I would say it to all their faces. Unless they're a lot bigger than me. Actually, you get the point. It's not just them. We expect it from everywhere else. All of a sudden, Kamala Harris is Mother Teresa. All of a sudden, the greatest of qualities, the greatest of people. Everything great. Terrific. Even though she is called for equity and equality. That we should move the chairs on the deck so you're equal with the next person. You make $500,000, they make $50,000. We're going to take $250,000 away from you. I'm being a little bit sarcastic here, but those are her own words. Go check it out. She called for defunding the police. Go check it out. I can go on and on. She's left of Biden, who is left of Bernie Sanders. Biden wants 28% corporate tax. She called for 35%. Government, and more government, solidifying their power base. The banner should not be we the people. It should be we the government. That's where they stand. As you know, I can't stand the other guy, but a binary choice we have. She came out in defense of Israel and then went but. Got to do this, got to do that. Really? Hamas bad, but. Hamas bad, but. Hamas bad, but. Hundreds of missiles rain down on Israel every day from Hezbollah. But Israel needs to stand down, but. I move on. Government property was destroyed last night on Capitol Hill. People attacked police. Government property was defaced. People were arrested. The Justice Department have let them off. They have been released. Now, I believe those people who committed January 6th from years ago are not hostages, as Trump says, should go to jail for what they did. I do believe that. But now I can understand why people are pissed off that they are in jail, but these people that attacked police last night are being released. While people defacing government property are being released. By the way, that's a felony, not a misdemeanor. I can understand why people believe there are two levels of justice, depending on who is liked and who is disliked politically. This has got to end. In France, the Olympics have started today. In fact, I have my TV on. They're going through the opening ceremonies. It's, 5 or 6 hours from France? I know London's 5. I think Paris may be 6. Crooks sabotaged the trains. Stopped them dead in the tracks with arson. People could not get to Paris, through Paris, to go see the events. Athletes were stopped dead in their tracks. Are they going to do anything to the arsonists? Ladies and gentlemen, if there are laws but not defending those laws and using those laws, they're not laws. If people are committing crimes and they're not paying penalties for those crimes, they will continue those crimes. I have told you the unbelievable illogic of a $950 threshold for shoplifting. If you shoplift, this is certain cities, if you shoplift $949, you're good. $950, you're bad. The crooks would walk in with a calculator and add it up and then walk out. How can you have law and order? It's impossible. People being arrested 50 times and being let out. Cash bail, being let out. Attacking others, being let out. Until these politicians, and the problem is these politicians have their own Secret Service. They're behind gates. They never have to worry about crime. Until they do have to worry about crime. Not until they have to worry about crime do they move on doing something about crime. It's got to stop. I segue. My 91-year-old mother had a stroke 2 nights ago. Amazingly, my brother got her to the hospital quickly, went through surgery immediately, got the clot, and she's doing great at 91. Side effects, as of now, none. Unbelievable. And she had a stroke. Resting comfortably. They had a little issue with blood, so they did a transfusion, but doing great. But I gotta tell you, Whew. It's so magnificent that I still have my mother and father at the age of 92 and 91. But every time I get a phone call now, I get it. I get it. As we get older, we're learning new things every day about life, longevity, spirit. My mom's a rock. She's been the rock for my father, who's hasn't been in good shape, but is still getting on. Just wanted to let you know. Up next, more on this, that, and the other thing. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
Listening to
America is talking.
Investor's Edge.
He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here. He's a Cinderella boy.
With Gary Kaltbaum.
Comes highly recommended. You're going to feel better if you talk to him.
So, as we go into next week, I do not know how my schedule is going to look like, but the good man, Adam, will do the show if I am not around. But she's doing great. But I have a sneaking suspicion she'll be in the hospital for a bit, and I gather some rehab too. But amazingly, doing great. And I guess when you have a stroke, they start doing tests and stuff. So they would say, do you live in New Zealand? Nope. Do you live in Afghanistan? Nope. Do you live in... And she got every answer correct, which told them a lot. My father's being watched over. And he's doing good. Though, they... Oh, how do I put this? They're like super glue, these two, my mother and father. They're super glue. They are completely attached. It's the best way I can put it. I'm trying to think how many years they have been married now. It's got to be about 67, maybe? Something in that neighborhood. We move on. Next week, before the open, McDonald's in the Dow on semiconductor affiliated managers after the close. Just going through some important ones that I believe. Flowserve, Lattice Semiconductor, Rambus. Not much there. Tuesday before the open. How about BP Oil, Corning? How about Ecolab, Illinois Toolworks, JetBlue, Merck in the Dow, Procter & Gamble in the Dow, Stanley Black & Decker, which is one of those stocks that were dead that have woken up because of the money flows. After the close Tuesday, Advanced Micro Devices, Arista Networks, just broke the 50-day to the downside. How about, I'm just going to say Denny's for the Grand Slam breakfast. First Solar, Informatica. There's a company called Lemonade. Microsoft. You've heard of them, right? And that's been under pressure. Two Apple suppliers, Skyworks and Qorvo. Starbucks, which is having problems. As I have told you, the Starbucks I go to, their business is down 25-30%, and I believe it's all pricing. Things I used to pay in Florida, $6.99, I'm paying over $9, and it's over $10 in New York City. Stryker. Still looking. Wednesday before the open, Altria Group, they sell cigs, and the stock's acting well. AutoNation, Boeing in the Dow with another big loss. CDW Computer. DuPont, no longer in the Dow. Garmin, GE Healthcare, Generac, got to talk about that. It's hurricane season. Hess, Humana, KKR, Kraft Heinz, they have good ketchup. Marriott, Norwegian Cruise Lines. By the way, have you seen how many hotels Marriott now has? Unbelievable. What else? Wingstop, after the close Wednesday. Allstate, Arm Holdings, C.H. Robinson Worldwide, Camping Worlds, Canadian Pacific Railway, Cheesecake Factory, love the Bang Bang Chicken and Shrimp, eBay, Fair Isaac, yeah, they're fair. What else do I got? Lamb Research, MetLife, MGM Resorts, Qualcomm, bear with me. I don't usually list things like this. Western Digital, Alibaba, Ingersoll Rand. Thursday before the open. We're only on Thursday. Anheuser-Busch. I haven't had a beer in... I had a beer in Japan years ago, but that's it. Apollo Management. Arrow Electronics. Becton Dickinson. Cummins Inc. Eaton Corp. Just looking. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, Shake Shack, still haven't had one of their burgers yet. Cigna, I heard they're okay. Wayfair, after the close. Amazon and Apple. Apple's estimates is to be up 8 cents on $1.26. What is that? 6%? And they always beat. Amazon's estimate $1.03 versus 65 cents a year ago. That'll be moving next Thursday. Coinbase, Clorox, GoDaddy, Intel in the Dow should be taken out of the Dow. MicroStrategy, Microchip, Roku, U.S. Steel, Friday, if I can find it. Monster Beverage, never had one. Arc Best, Chevron, Exxon, both big oils. And there's a little bit of your earnings next week. And may I state for the record, I left out about 1,000. Just went through a bunch that are what we consider to be of import. So bottom line, big day today. Bottom line, left the S&P down, NASDAQ 100, and SOX down pretty decently. Money flows, housing related, financials, regional banks, and what we consider to be, we call it stuff. The question is how long it lasts, how far it goes. We have the Fed on Wednesday. I haven't said this ever or forever. I think there's a chance they could lower rates on Wednesday. Why? Because I think there's a chance they're lowering rates soon, and the next one is right before the meeting, right before the election, and I'm not sure that they want to look political, even though it really wouldn't be looking political. But the big story is 10-year yield is down at 4.2%, down from 5%, and that's good news. And let's hope it goes even lower. And we've had a definitive reaction on the housing stocks and the financials, interest rate sensitive. And again, that's the story here. Money flows elsewhere. And I do believe it's not going to change anytime soon. That was a stapler. Except for earnings reactions. And today you had Charter Communications up 52 to 367. You had Mohawk Industries up 26 to 160. 3M up 23 to 127. Norfolk Southern up 24 to 247. You had some significant moves. Norfolk Southern, the only thing I can tell you, earnings were up 4 and 2, and sales. First time they've been up in a year. So maybe the market's rewarding, hey, things are a little bit better. But I got news for you. Valuations are up there. We'll see how it goes. And that's a little bit of the markets. The worm has turned. I'm amazed. Before July 11th, I would have said to you, boy, if they get technology, the market is screwed. Instead, the rest of the market turned up as technology turned down. And now the important thing to recognize is the institutions. If technology continues to weaken, every morning they meet, they're going to be talking about, how much of the tech do you own? Sell. Self-fulfilling. That's how movement works in the market. The big money crowd. That's how it rolls. It's the best way I can explain it to you. And what we'll do every day here is just let you know. Earnings front, let you know. And we'll see where it takes us. Go look at the charts of the Dow, the Russell 2000 and the mid-caps, and then compare it to the NASDAQ 100, the XLK, which is technology, and the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index. One that was going north on I-95 is going south. One that was going south on I-95 is going north. The question is for me, though, if there's no great growth rates out of these other things and they're not growing their business, it's just valuation. And there's so much they're going to do on the valuation front. Up next, what else we got for you? This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
You're listening to
What are we waiting for?
Well, what are you waiting for?
1, 2, ready, go.
Action!
Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. In the news, Venezuela. In case you don't know, this scumbag Maduro's been running Venezuela for a long time. He took over for, what's his name, that died of cancer. Hopefully it hurt him bad. We don't wish bad on anybody except a bunch of murderous thugs. Anyway, Maduro has destroyed the country. Completely destroyed it. But it looks like maybe they're kind of giving up. I don't know, but there's this election going on, and the people that are running against him are completely capitalists. And we'll see. Every other election they fixed. It was all fixed. People have been missing. People have been murdered. But right now it's still going on. It's still going on. And that would be good to see because the Venezuelan people have been running away from Venezuela. And they took over the military. Anyway, the last guy was Hugo Chavez. Usually we say rest in peace to those who die. I move on. We mentioned the arson attack on the trains in France. I hope they get them, and hopefully they do something to these people. Here's an interesting one. I don't know if you've heard of Citron Research. Now, we're a big believer that innocent before proven guilty. So there's a gentleman by the name of Andrew Left. Citron Research is this short-selling research outfit. And he's had some really good hits throughout the years. They put out these great research reports on companies. He is being accused, and I think it's criminal and civil, of putting out a big research report that this company is a piece of crap or fraud or whatever, and they would short the stock and then cover the stock without saying it, and they're accusing them of, I guess I guess you can call it fraud or something like that. Yeah, I guess fraud. I don't know if he's in my business or not. So we take this time to let you know. That's why we're so careful here on our verbiage and what we say. And, we are on TV also. We will never tout crap. No sales biotechs. No sales anything. Penny stocks, bulletin board stocks. We will never, ever trade against. If we are really liking something and we change our stance, you will know it. If we hate something and we change our stance, you will know it, because we know exactly what we say the day before, the week before, the month before, the quarter before. Now, I don't know what evidence they have on this guy. We never want to see anybody in trouble. We hope none of this is true, but that's what they're accusing him of, and we'll see how it plays out. We move on. I mentioned the assaulting police. I don't have to go through that anymore. I just put these things down. Corporate insiders, that's markets, are dumping shares at the fastest pace in over a decade. And what that means is we monitor these things about buying and selling by insiders of companies. We monitor it all the time, and we're always looking for extremes. So just letting you know, we've hit an extreme. Insiders, these are the people that run their companies. They're selling like crazy their stock. Does not have to mean the market's going to be in trouble, but we're just letting you know they're selling their stock like crazy. And we'll see how it plays out. Guess where that goes? Into our file manager. That's how we work on it. Into the file manager. And again, these are the people that know their companies. And if we see 15 CEOs of 15 different software companies selling the hell out of their own stock, we take notice. We do notice the NVIDIA CEO is selling the hell out of his own company stock, but he has a ton. So it doesn't bother us that much. But if it persists, we'll make note. What else did I write to myself? I just send things to me. That's about it on the markets. Everything else had to do with, Newsweek is questioning whether Trump was hit by a bullet or shrapnel. This is what these people think about. They're insane. Everything's politics, never the truth. Oh, we don't like Trump. He's lying. We love Biden. Oh, he's actually selfless and has not been forced out by these other Morlocks in D.C. So just be careful. Remember, for us, there's no R, there's no D. We can't stand any of them. They've put us into $35 trillion of debt. It's guaranteed to go to 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 trillion. They're solidifying their power base, and with the media, they are the greatest con artists in history from the top down. And unfortunately, so many love so many because of this, that, and the other thing. I think we've lost all great leaders that are out there. And I know you people love Trump. I know you people love the other side, but man, oh man, go read the numbers. And without any bias, go see what the media is doing to you. It ain't fun. And we take no joy in any of this. We would love to be praising every one of them. We would love to put a championship belt around the waist of these people, but they have proven otherwise day in and day out. We got rid of George Santos and now Menendez because they went to the extreme of crazy. The others have just not been found out. Or in D.C., what is illegal for us is just kind of sort of bad ethics for them. So have a great weekend. Drive carefully. I'll be hanging with the mom. And when you get home, do like we do. Make sure you hug your family. I will be. Make sure you hug your children. They'll feel better. You'll feel better. I'll be hugging my grandson, too. Until Monday, have a great evening, everybody. Or Adam, if I'm not around. Peace out, all. Stay well, be well. Good night.
This has been Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum on BizTalk. To listen to past episodes or to get in contact with Gary, go to GaryK.com. That's GaryK.com.